Let's be clear. Conservative government pressure to foist a mayor on Leeds City Region are undemocratic. Referenda across the region have rejected the elected mayor concept. Local people recognise that it puts too much power in the hands of one individual. In 2001, in Kirklees, local people voted 73% to 27% against an elected mayor. That was much more decisive than the recent Scottish referendum, independence referendum. And that was supposed to settle a matter for a generation. So why would a Conservative government, elected with 37% of the vote, wielding 100% of the power, that has just stuffed the unelected House of Lords with Tory lackeys, behave in such an undemocratic fashion? Difficult to fathom, I know. The truth is that this is nothing to do with democracy and everything to do with centralised control. So having rejected elected mayors on each of our councils, the government wants to have one over even wider areas, stretching across many councils, representing millions of people. The incentive for doing this is to have control over funds which are normally managed by Whitehall. Make no mistake, this is not new money. This is about shifting control from a remote government in London to a remote individual, an elected mayor covering the whole of West Yorkshire and beyond. Even despite this, there are some attractions in having more control. In 2013, the Conservative Lib Dem government reallocated European money that was destined for Yorkshire to Scotland. And so one of the asks from Leeds City Region leaders has to be control of European funding. On the subject of our asks to government, none of us have voted or have had any say over them whatsoever. We've been told what they are, but we've had no say over what those are. So just as the elected mayor proposals are undemocratic, so are our negotiations on whether or not we should have an elected mayor. In case you didn't know, here are some of the headline asks: the ability to raise funding over a 10-year infrastructure precept to improve public transport, power to levy and retain business rates, devolve budgets and responsibility for major roads, including motorways, control of a £500 million housing and regeneration fund, powers to incentivise developers to bring forward strategic sites and prevent land banking and to bring empty listed buildings back into use, responsibility for local energy generation and efficiency, responsibility for European structural investment funds. All these are really positive, but if they're in the hands of a single individual as opposed to a remote Whitehall department, exactly what difference does that make? So say we get an elected mayor, what democratic checks and balances will there be on such a powerful position? Well, I believe what is good enough for London should be good enough for Yorkshire. They have the Greater London Assembly, elected by proportional representation, that can vote down the elected mayor's budget or plans with a two-thirds majority. We're being pushed into a less democratic mayoral model, so we need to ensure there is a new representative body to make sure that an elected mayor is held accountable. If we don't get these asks that we have no say about, will we have the opportunity to vote down any elected mayor proposals in council? I believe we should have that opportunity. As with all negotiations, you have to be prepared to walk away and to recognise when what is on offer from the government is simply not worth it. We do have to overcome the Conservatives' desire to centralise power with the mayoral model, but we also have to democratise our own electoral arrangements and drag them into the 21st century.
Thank you, Councillor Copper. Councillor Ridgway, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Leeds City Region bid